Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the usual disclaimers. Trigger warning. Dr. Matthew Israel is going to use the tactics of some of the idiot 12-year-olds on Twitter. He's going to play victim. Poor martyr Dr. Matthew Israel. We're just taking time out of our day to do a smear campaign against the JRC. Dude, what makes you think I got the time? Yeah, sure. I totally just look with glee to these weekends that I spend doing these videos because I like to sleep. No one's attacking you. We're going after you because you torture kids. Your excuses are paper thin. They do not hold weight. My God, we are all aware medical model is ableist as hell. But in comparison to them and you, even they look at you like you need to be admitted. Alright, nobody's picking on you. We don't get paid for this. Very obviously, or I would not still be living in this godforsaken state. Alright, disclaimers, shall we? In the description box, you're going to find a link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It's written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. So much for it's just as advocates. Matter of fact, they don't want you to read that article so much, they have threatened NeuroClastic with They have threatened them with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so you know the drill. Please read the article, share it on all your social media. Also in there is NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding folks in case the JRC actually sees through with their threat. Also linked in there, the Ozarks First article in regards to the Agape boarding school, now known as Stone for Help boarding school situation. This is a so-called Christian-themed boarding school based in Stockton, Missouri that takes in so-called troubled male teens that has impending over 21 civil lawsuits, claims, and allegations leveled against it, all which have been substantiated by the Missouri Department of Social Services, and they include the following: sodomy, rape, sexual assault, child abuse, psychological and emotional abuse, child trafficking, starvation. Folks, that's just for starters. You have one former staff member arrested by the FBI, another doctor still on the premises with full access to the boys, up on multiple, again, substantiated claims of sodomy, rape, and sexual assault of the boys there. You have an attorney general too busy chasing after drag queens and trying and failing to defund public libraries to actually protect the kids of this state. And you got a governor. I got no words for our governor. Send help. Please read that article. Share it on all your social media. Excuse me, allergies. Also included in there, all the pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject. You know, what I like to call over 4 decades of receipts. Which is why every time he tries to tell you that we're lying, I like to pull up that page. Because we have receipts. Matter of fact, unlike AH, we are in a situation with the JRC where our receipts have receipts. And those receipts have receipts. Right? Jennifer Masemba's behavioral sheet of shockable offenses, a clip out of the 7-hour ordeal undergone by Andre McCollins, and the ever-present self-explanatory Change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, alright? This channel is marked not for children for a reason. We use profanity on occasion. We speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they're watching this, very obviously, folks, parental supervision should go without saying, you know. All right, trigger warning. Square your shoulders, as I've already prepared you for. Allergies, excuse me. We are about to once more descend into the mad ravings of the lunatic mind known as Dr. Matthew Israel. You're going to hear gaslighting, victim blaming, pseudoscience, lies, abuse and torture apologencia, all from a man with a massive ego and even larger God complex. So, folks, prepare yourself for the monumental bunch of appeal to authority, word salad, condescending, stupid we are about to endure here. So, where we left off, right? Excuse me. Particularly disturbing was the author's willingness to distort testimonial material from the JRC's own website. The authors took word out of context and made up statements that were not made by the persons who gave the testimonials and represented the material to be negative comments about the JRC and or skin shock adversives. First of all, no, we didn't. No, we didn't, doctor. That's a lie. That's a bald-faced lie. First off, if we quote the statement, how in the name of God are we making it up? We're not. Definition of making something up means I pulled something out of my ass that has never been seen before, attributed it to a person who never said it. That's making it up. Taking a statement that somebody has written out, presenting it in its entirety and informing folks that it is actually in favor of your facility, and then taking phrases out that we find problematic and stating an opinion on it is not making it up. Do you see the difference, doctor? Good. How in the name of God did this man manage to make it through regular college, let alone get a doctorate? If the authors were so willing to falsify statements that could be so easily checked, just goes by JRC's website, how much have they distorted many other accusations in the report that were made anonymously in the course of their one-sided research whose accuracy cannot be checked? For the love of motherfucker. Okay, doctor. Fine. You want to play that? Let's play. It's not a false statement simply because it makes you look bad. Okay? The MDRI did not falsify or make up anything. They presented these statements in their entirety. They informed the reader that it was in favor of the JRC. They took snippets out of those full statements after presenting it in its entirety to show where the troubling parts are. That is not falsifying a statement, sir. That is not making up anything. That is freedom of speech. I'm allowed to read something, take quotes out of it, and state my opinion on it. Just because I do that does not mean I am falsifying the original statement. It means I am reading it, highlighting the parts I find extremely problematic and disturbing, and then stating the opinions why, and then presenting the research to back up my point. That's what the MDRI report does, sir. He's also wanting you to believe that it's just us, right? It's just us advocates. We have no credentials. It's a lie. Some of us have worked in this field. Some are psychologists and psychiatrists, therapists, counselors, OT specialists, people who work in this field with the very same credentials that he does. But the main difference between them and him is they still have their licenses. They are still practicing. He is not. As far as accuracy, doctor, how does one determine the accuracy of an anonymous accusation? It's very simple. Is there evidence that supports their statement or not? It's kind of like with the AH or Evan Rachel Wood. They too just threw accusations out, but they had nothing to back it up. The people who chose to remain anonymous for their safety and their peace of mind and the peace of their families have evidence that backs their statements up, doctor. How do you check the accuracy without the names of the individuals so that people like you can target and intimidate them into silence? By looking at the evidence at hand. You want to know what backs those accusations up and gives them accuracy and weight, doctor? Video surveillance footage. The New York report, which you in no way, shape, or form discredited, with individuals far more qualified than you yourself to call themselves doctors, which is then also backed up by ER documents, backed up by DESI reports, backed up by whistleblowers, and then at the bottom of it all, the other survivors' statements. The accusations that are being made, how can you ever check the veracity if they're anonymous? If the evidence backs them up, doctor. Are their accusations corroborated by the hard evidence that has been gathered? Yes. They are, doctor. In fact, you don't even have to go on Autistic Hoya's massive archive to see that their accusations are justified. All you have to do is go on YouTube and type in Judge Rotenberg Center School of Shock, where you will find the video of what you all did to Andre McCollins. They're not false because you're screaming that they are, nor are they false because you are beyond angry that we refuse to reveal the identity of of the people who are our sources so that you can intimidate them. We protect our sources. We do so for a reason, because you are notorious for intimidation and corruption. And the list literally goes on. We do not have to provide you with names, sir, so that you can tar and feather them. Those accusations have been backed up by hard evidence and facts. You are correct, sir, that people lie. Evidence does not. Surveillance footage from the early 2000s does not. Documentation that dates all the way back to the 1970s as to the abuse and the horrors you perpetuate on people like me, found by the state of California. Back those accusations up. It's very easy to test the accuracy of an anonymous accusation when you've got so much evidence to fall back on. Just because an individual refuses to provide their name for their own safety does not make the accusation that they made false. Many such victims and abuse survivors have done the same. These accusers, unlike with the AH case, the Manson case with Evan, can back it up with hard, cold evidence. So, in fact, your statement here that the accuracy cannot be checked is a lie. You know it's a lie. Everyone with a brain knows that an anonymous accusation can be considered as fact when evidence comes out that corroborates the statements. That's just plain logic. We're going to close out on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. Bye-bye, everyone.